The story begins in the gardens of Yixinlin Villa, a beautiful traditional Chinese-style house surrounded by blooming gardens, where colorful flowers create a magical atmosphere. 23-year-old Song Yu, who recently graduated from college, is taking the first steps in her career. Her parents left her just enough money for a down payment to start a new life. Opening the door to the yard, she felt a rush of joy and gratitude. Such a beautiful house with a cozy garden was a real find for her, and she felt incredibly happy. But she was struck by the fact that in the garden she saw a mysterious statue surrounded by many bright flowers. This unexpected find added a special atmosphere of mystery and charm to the garden. Song Yu was slightly disturbed by this statue. An elegant image of a woman whose beautiful but cold expression made her feel uncomfortable in the midst of a blooming garden. Song Yu looked at the statue, wondering in her mind, who is this woman? She was tormented by doubts whether her parents really liked this house. She looked carefully at the photos, trying to understand their choices. It's been 3 years since her parents disappeared, leaving behind only a letter and a bank card. Song Yu still knows nothing about their fate and continues to live with this uncertain grief. The bell rang. It was the director who said that he sent the information form and demanded that it be filled out urgently, despite the weekend. He promised to recommend it after watching it. This guy always puts work on her that he avoids. Song Yu was furious. Why should she be doing this on her day off, especially when it's clearly not her job? Bending over her laptop, Song Yu realized that she needed the salary to pay off the mortgage. Finding a job now was not easy, and that was part of the fate of being new to the workplace. After a long day of cleaning and work, Song Yu decided to order food home. Cooking was the last thing on her mind, and she just wanted to enjoy the finished meal. Picking up the phone, Song Yu noticed a small scratch on her finger. She decided not to disinfect it, but to simply rinse it with tap water, considering it sufficient. Hearing the rustling of leaves, Song Yu looked out the window and saw a statue in the garden illuminated by the moonlight. Her mysterious image became even more mystical under the nightlight. As she walked up to the statue, Song Yu noticed that her heart began to beat faster. Every time, looking at her, it seemed to her that there was an invisible connection between them, full of mysteries. Since the house belonged to Song Yu, she believed that the statue was also hers. When she touched it, she found a small amount of blood oozing from a scratch on her finger. This blood was absorbed into the statue. At that moment, Song Yu felt a tremor and realized that it was a small earthquake. The crack coming from the statue grew louder. And suddenly, the statue came to life, turning into a living woman with snow-white long hair and a red dress. Waking up, the statue looked around in confusion, trying to figure out who had woken it up. Seeing Song Yu, she asked if those were her hands. Her eyes were incredibly beautiful and mesmerizing. Approaching Song Yu, the woman said that she was very hungry. Leaning closer and inhaling her scent, she felt the tantalizing smell of fresh blood, igniting a strange desire in her. The woman said that at the call of her blood, the girl would become her blood servant. In this mortgage-laden house, Song Yu was bitten by a mysterious woman who emerged from a statue. Vampires drink human blood to conquer the human personality. But this girl's blood was not only sweet and delicious, there was something special about it that attracted and enchanted. Song Yu abruptly pushed the woman away, called her a pervert, and ran away in a panic. The woman was amazed. How could she resist? In addition, the force that bound her had weakened a little. The girl ran swiftly along the park, dodging people and praying that this creature would not overtake her. Suddenly, she realized that her pursuer seemed to be far behind, and a sense of relief washed over her. She spotted a bench and, relieved, sat down to rest for a while. Everything happened so quickly that she did not even have time to properly react to the events. Looking at her neck on the phone display, she noticed that the wound was quite deep, but thankfully not bleeding. Relief mixed with anxiety, the realization of how seriously things could end. Sitting in thought, she could not understand how the woman got out of the statue. Snow-white skin, red lips and fangs betrayed a vampire. Song Yu was shocked. Do vampires really exist? The idea of moving has disappeared. The house has just been bought. Song Yu decided to search the phone for what vampires are afraid of. Silver, garlic, crosses. She thought that buying these items might come in handy in the future and help her protect herself. After buying all the necessary items, she put on a cross and a garlic necklace, deciding to return home. Stepping out into the courtyard, she prayed, hoping to banish the woman, and promised to donate to the temple if her plan succeeded. Quietly sneaking around the yard, she did not find the statue and could not understand where it had gone. Whispering the spell, she didn't notice the woman from the roof of the house watching her and saying, "The girl doesn't look very smart." Song Yu didn't see the vampire and began to think that maybe she was hallucinating. Suddenly, a woman whispered in her ear, "Do you Asians like the smell of garlic?" The girl pulled back sharply to the side, holding out a head of garlic to the vampire. "Don't come near me," she warned. "This is my home. If you come any closer, I won't be able to stay kind." Throwing garlic at the woman and yelling for her to go away, Song Yu was shocked when the vampire came up and said, "Garlic doesn't hurt us. We hate it for its smell, but even with that smell, I can still bite you to death." The girl again begged the woman not to approach, but she replied that Song Yu would become her bloody slave and serve her. Song Yu thought, "What, a living bag of blood?" She began to call out loudly for help, but the woman leaned towards her and bringing her face to her neck, softly said, "Be quiet." But the power of the female vampire did not work. Instead, she just stood and couldn't understand what was happening, looking at the girl in amazement. Grabbing Song Yu's face, the vampire asked, "Who the hell are you?" Her voice was full of surprise and anger. "Who am I? I am the mistress of this house and the most unlucky person in the world," Song Yu exclaimed, her voice shaking with emotion. The vampire froze, looking at her curiously, realizing that this person had dared to judge her, the woman thought. For 100 years, the world did not disturb her, and the blood of this man awakened her soul. More than 200 years later, the world was still dull and timid. She had no interest in life and intended to go back into hibernation, but Song Yu looked at her card and saw that she had no money at all. "Damn vampires," she thought, annoyance in her voice. The vampire continued to ponder, feeling that although she couldn't understand why, there was clearly a special connection between her and this human being. The woman did not sleep for 3 days. Approaching Song Yu, she asked, "Couldn't this be the idiot who put the curse on me?" Song Yu, asking her to stop biting, explained that she is anemic, malnourished, and not very tasty. The smell of the girl seduced the woman. Song Yu was only 23 years old. Hadn't her youth ended before she reached her prime? She didn't want to die so soon. Vampiric was flooded with memories of her youth, when she was chained and threatened by a man who promised to kill her if she tried to escape. Remembering the hunter for blood, ready to kill for the sake of the goal, she caught the same smell from the girl. 200 years ago, a woman almost died at his hands, and now she woke up again, smelling the hunter's blood. Song Yu felt that the woman's face was too close. The vampire, thinking about her imprisonment and curse, suddenly noticed how charming the girl was. Her skin seemed pale and silky. Wait, what am I thinking? The girl, addressing the woman as an older sister, admitted that she was in great debt and begged not to eat it. The vampirica asked if the girl was on Mel and having received an affirmative answer, she promised to spare. The vampire woman handed the girl a gold coin, asking if she would take it in exchange for working for her, promising to give such coins in return. Song Yu knew that working for a vampire was dangerous and told her to forget about it. She stated that she did not need the coins and that it would be fine when the vampire was gone. The woman thought, "Aren't you poor?" The girl said they have an old saying, "Don't get an award if you don't deserve it." She refused, but the woman still put the coin in her hands, saying that it was a gift, and if Song Yu did well, she would get even more gold. On her way out, the woman yelled at Song Yu that her consent didn't matter, and that being tired, she'd rather the girl not annoy her and stay quiet. Entering the house, the woman used magic to summon a coffin instead of a bed. Song Yu, seeing this, angrily asked why she was sleeping in her house and ordered her to leave. The vampire remembered what she had already said. She would not go. Song Yu may be the first to live here, but the woman has been in this house long before her. Serving her is a great honor, and if the girl continues to be ungrateful, she will send her to her ancestors. The vampire promised to leave the house as soon as she found what she needed, if Song Yu would become her servant. The girl decided to obey, because the gold coin was a worthy reward for obedience. Song Yu asked if vampires make contracts and offered to record their conversation as proof. The woman decided that first she needed to bite the girl to strengthen the bond. And from that moment on, the girl had to become her bloody slave, obey all orders. But what if Song Yu refuses? In the days of women, disobedient servants were severely punished. The thought of being controlled by a vampire scared Song Yu. She decided to cooperate until it became illegal because the woman was cruel. Song Yu asked what exactly she needed to find. Vampiria replied that first you need to find a family with the surname Gaia, and she will tell you what to do next. When asked about other clues, the woman just shook her head. Song Yu asked how she should address the vampire. But she replied that she should be called mistress. Although slavery was officially abolished many years ago, Song Yu must call her mistress, or she will be punished. For the woman, the blood of this hunter was a problem. Her emotions were completely dependent on him. The easiest way to solve everything is to just kill the person. The thought of possible death squeezed the girl's heart. Vampira did not understand how an Asian woman could be related to the Gaia family, which almost killed the hunter. Can a man break the curse? Bloodthirst tormented the vampire. Song Yu set out to find her family without enough information. She knew that the family from the West lived over 200 years ago, but the contract with the vampire kept her scared to death. After spending several hours searching, Song Yu found nothing. She surmised that Gaia's family might be related to vampires and decided to find a way to get rid of the vampiress despite the pressure. Unexpectedly, Song Yu received a call from Shen Ji, her friend and tarot reader. Her friend was worried because of her silence, but Song Yu did not tell about the vampire and asked to look into the future. After laying out her cards, Shen Ji warned Song Yu of the great bad luck that awaits her in the coming days. The cards predicted serious trials and possible threats. In the cards, failure will haunt Song Yu for a long time. Shenzi noticed that before the vacation, the cards predicted good luck and asked what had changed. Song Yu replied that she had work problems and promised to tell everything after her friend's vacation. Continuing her search on the internet, Song Yu learned that the Gaia family was the first to go east as traders. She wrote this information down and decided to visit the library the next day, hoping to find records of early traders. Starving, Song Yu went down to the kitchen hoping to find some ramen. In the dark, she missed the switch and tripped on the stairs, falling. Fortunately, the vampire caught her. Song Yu thanked her. After rescuing the vampire, she ordered Song Yu to clean the coffin without objection and warned her not to ask questions as she left. Walking down the street, the vampire thought about how difficult it is to control herself when a girl is in danger. It is still impossible to get rid of the problem, so it is important to adapt to the surrounding conditions. Observing people, the vampire realized how much the world had changed since the time when she lived. Clothes, habits, language, everything has changed. The world has become completely different, turned upside down. Passing by a bookstore, a woman went in to find a Chinese language guide. Because of the contract, it was difficult for her to understand and speak. The saleswoman, fascinated by her beauty, willingly helped. The saleswoman showed books on the Chinese language and offered a discount, but apologized that gold was not accepted. Vampirka, not having local currency, was left without a purchase. Disappointed, the vampire returned home, thinking that the gold was no longer in use and how this world was as troubled as Song Yu herself. Entering the house, she saw a girl sleeping on the sofa and snoring loudly to her horror. Looking at Song Yu sleeping, the woman began to worry, fearing that she might fall off the couch. Unable to contain her excitement due to the curse, she gently took the girl in her arms, carried her into the bedroom, and placed her on the bed. Song Yu woke up the next morning, sure she had fallen asleep on the couch, and couldn't remember how she ended up in the bedroom. Looking out the window at the beautiful weather, she thought that everything happened only as an illusion. Going downstairs, Song Yu started getting ready for work, running late, but the hostess ordered to clean the house first. Until this was done, it was forbidden to leave the house. Frustrated, Song Yu began to clean up and grumbled that yesterday was a dream. Cleaning over and over again, does a housewife always need perfect cleanliness? The hostess interrupted her, saying that she heard. The hostess, irritated and aware of how the smell of blood was making her thirstier, called Song Yu a useless maid and ordered her to leave because she wanted to rest. Song Yu noticed that Mistress looked weakened and approached her worriedly. She inquired about her well-being and offered help, ready to do whatever was necessary. The woman abruptly stood up, grabbed Song Yu by the neck, and stated with cold determination that she needed blood to keep from being weak, and only the girl could help her. Song Yu must decide whether or not to allow the vampire to drink her blood. On her way to work, Song Yu couldn't forget her hostess's request. Fear gripped her. She was afraid of becoming a victim of a vampire. The thought that a bloodsucker was in her house was dangerous and disturbing. At work, Song Yu received a call from her boss asking her to bring coffee as usual. But this time she decided that the boss should return the debt, because she always forgets to pay. Song Yu brought Miss Min-jae coffee just in time. The boss instructed her to copy the documents and promised to return the money for the coffee next week. She thanked her. The girl asked Miss Min-jae to return the money for the coffee and the old debt. Miss Min-jae was surprised that Song Yu doubted her honesty, as she had promised to return the money next week. Miss Min-jae ordered to stop arguing about money and coffee and to quickly start printing newspapers. Saddened, Song Yu silently left the office, feeling that her pleas had gone unheeded. Song Yu, immersed in work and suffering from hunger, did not have time to eat. Miss Min-jae came over and announced with annoyance that the document that had just been sent needed to be prepared urgently for the meeting. This only increased her tension. Miss Min-jae overwhelmed her with work, which only added to her irritation after the silly argument about money. While she was doing her homework, Song Yu was also trying to find a book that she planned to reserve at the library. Suddenly there was a call from an unknown number. It was a city library. After apologizing, the employee informed Song Yu that despite searching diligently, they were unable to find the book they were looking for. Song Yu asked the employee about Gaia's family in the East. She was suggested to search independently in the library on Wooten Street. Rejoicing, she decided that this was her chance to find the information she needed. Tired, Song Yu returned home, realizing that even if the hostess decided to bite her, she wouldn't have the energy to clean up. She planned to just rest. Entering the house, Song Yu noticed that the living room was empty. Isn't she at home? She thought. But seeing the closed coffin, the girl realized that the hostess was still asleep. Suddenly, Song Yu heard a voice. Is it a habit to stand over a sleeping person? Out of fright, she tripped and fell right on top of the hostess. But with irritation, she ordered her to get off immediately. Lying in the grave, the woman said that she could not sleep all day because of the connection with the feelings of the girl, depressed by problems at work. She told her to sleep and threatened to bite her if she heard even a sound. Song Yu sat down at the table, eating bread and salt because of the house payments. Suddenly, she felt pain. Lying nearby, the hostess, trying to sleep, heard the girl's thoughts because of her bad mood and suffered from hunger. The hostess sat next to Song Yu and asked about the investigation. I was happy to learn about the new library. Annoyed, Song Yu said she would check for herself. The hostess reminded that if the girl is obedient, the money will come. The vampire noticed the girl's food and ordered her to eat normally so as not to be accused of poor service. Having said that, she went to rest. Song Yu, who received the coin, was delighted by the lady's care. The next morning, Song Yu woke up dreaming of paying off the mortgage and being happy. It was only a dream, but perhaps it portends that her dream will soon come true. Song Yu went down to the kitchen and prepared a soy milk drink for the hostess to support her health and earn some money. The girl, in a good mood, invited the hostess to breakfast. The mistress was happy to see that the girl was learning to be a good servant, even though Song Yu was doing it for money. The hostess, after trying the drink, declared that she did not need human food and asked what it was. Song Yu explained that it was red plum milk for blood circulation. But the girl waited for an answer and drank the drink herself. The vampire, noticing that human food did not satisfy her hunger, jokingly asked for Song Yu's blood. The frightened girl thought it was a joke. Wary of the vampire, she went to get ready for work. When Song Yu was almost out of the house, the landlady called her name. Amazed, the girl asked how she knew her name. The hostess showed the notebook, after which Song Yu angrily left for work, even though she was a maid. After the girl left, the vampire thought about the need to go hunting as soon as possible. If she does not eat, it will create problems for the girl herself. At work, a colleague, Song Yu, assured his boss that everything would be fixed by lunchtime. Hearing this, the girl quickly ran away to avoid new tasks from Ming Jie. During the break, Song Yu decided to check out the library. She called Xiao Ji and noticed her unhappiness growing, asking what was going on. Song Yu nervously replied that it was difficult for her to get along with her colleagues, but she did not mention the vampire. After talking with her friend, Song Yu sat down on the bench next to the office, hoping to have a snack. Min Jae came over when she saw her, scolded her that the work was piling up, and sent her back to the office. Returning home tired, Song Yu decided to find out the name of her mistress while she slept. She thought that since the mistress knew her name, she should also know the name of her mistress. Approaching the coffin, Song Yu remembered that in the West, names are often engraved on coffins. She decided to check, and after searching, she found the name. Song Yu, remembering the Western tradition of engraving names on coffins, went over and found the hostess's name. But, waking up, the vampire sternly said that the maid did not need to know her name, and told her to be addressed simply as ma'am. Being under the curse, the vampire lost control for a moment, but was amused by the way Song Yu, standing next to her, tried to say her name. The vampire had an irresistible desire to call the girl his mistress. This feeling was so strong that she even wanted to kill her because of this obsessive thought. Song Yu asked if she could be called Xiao Wei. The hostess thought that the girl was too disobedient and should be disciplined. Opening the door, Song Yu realized that her dreams were shattered. The disappearance of the vampire was just an illusion. In the living room, everything remained as before. There was a coffin, and the vampire was still sitting there. Seeing the girl, the vampire ordered her to wash the floor, reminded her that it had to be done last night. Song Yu was furious, thinking that this lady was heartless. Seeing the girl, the vampire ordered her to wash the floor, reminded her that it had to be done last night. Song Yu was furious, thinking that this lady was heartless. Going down the stairs, Song Yu noticed that the landlady could have cleaned up herself, but she replied that it was no joke and that she was her landlady. The girl screamed that she should have banished the vampire last night. The vamp leaned over and said that she was moody and naughty and deserved to be punished. Song Yu asked why she couldn't call her Xiao Wei. Suddenly, the vampire lost consciousness and fainted. The girl stood in confusion and wondered if all vampires were so beautiful, despite their gloomy nature. Pushing the vampire, the girl tried to carry her and put her in the coffin bed. However, the woman's weight was too much for her, despite her own strength. Placing the vampire in the coffin, Song Yu watched her, thinking that this rest might be necessary for her recovery. Watching the vampire, Song Yu noticed that her body was as soft as a normal human, but extremely cold. The restored vampire was sitting in the living room and reading something. As Song Yu walked by, the woman asked if she was going to clean the floor, or if she would give her some blood right away. Song Yu replied that she would clean the floor. The vampire found her a fun toy to tease. Despite the curse, she felt the girl's pain and saw how she cared for her, even when she was laid in a coffin. Song Yu, while cleaning the floor, attracted the attention of the hostess, who noticed the softness of the heart of the descendants of hunters and the girl's humility. Using her powers, the vampire made the mop work on its own. The vampire was overwhelmed with emotions from the praise, and she thought that she should control her feelings. Song Yu stated that since the mistress is so capable, she can take care of all the household chores. The woman could forgive Song Yu for not fulfilling her household duties, but she should not forget her status and give orders. Song Yu asked who would like to be her maid. They sat down on the couch and Song Yu turned on the TV. A talking woman appeared on the screen. The hostess was amazed and could not understand how this person got into such a device. Song Yu laughed to the point of tears and the water got into her nose. The hostess, noticing this, warned her that if she continued to laugh, she would be punished. After explaining what a TV is, the hostess decided to drink some wine. Song Yu, noticing this, asked where she got the red wine. The hostess replied that her wealth allows her to have everything she needs. The TV screen was showing news about the attack on several bars 2 days ago. The presenter warned about an unknown attacker and called for caution. Song Yu was intrigued. The girl looked suspiciously at the lady and asked if she was the culprit of the attack. The lady replied that there are many criminals at this time, and it is not necessarily her. Song Yu, going to work, warned the vampire not to bite people and not to wander around idle. If she is caught, there will be trouble. The vampire nodded and almost said, "Yes, my mistress," but stopped herself in time. The vampire demanded that Song Yu take her words back and stop ordering her around. She warned that once the curse was lifted, she would drain all of her blood. Screaming indignantly, Song Yu replied that she was late for work. Song Yu understood that the lady's threats were empty words, and she was actually harmless. The vampire, unconsciously letting her go, stepped aside, wondering how this girl dared to order her. At work, Song Yu stared thoughtfully at the computer screen. Her thoughts returned to Wei Lei again. Why is she so angry? She has a really strange character. Maybe it is related to age? Meanwhile, Wei Lei felt irritated and did not want Song Yu to speak to her in such a tone. Song Yu wondered if she ordered Wei Lei not to bite anyone, would she listen? A colleague entered the office and sternly declared that Song Yu should not relax, even if the deadline for completing the task had passed. She added that today the girl will have to work during the lunch break. While Song Yu was at work, Wei Lei turned on the TV and came across a romantic series. After looking at him, the vampire grumbled a little, dissatisfied with the plot twists. That's how her whole day passed. Late at night, on her way home, Song Yu managed to stop by a store. To her delight, she came across discounts and bought fruit and chicken because she had not eaten meat for a long time. Tired but satisfied, she headed home. Entering the house, Song Yu was surprised to see Wei Lei grumbling while watching TV. She noted that it was hurting her eyes and the electric bill would go up. Wei Lei calmly replied that she should not worry about money. The woman gave Song Yu a coin and she happily went to prepare food. While cooking, she listened as Wei Lei continued talking to the TV as if they were having a dialogue. The girl prepared dinner and sat down next to Wei Lei to watch the series. Song Yu began to recount the events in advance. The hostess angrily asked not to kill the intrigue, otherwise she would have shut her up a long time ago. Song Yu decided to take revenge on Wei Lei for the spoilers, but she gave a gold coin and asked to leave it for 2 hours near the TV. Song Yu knew that Wei Lei would not harm her except for one incident in the past. After dinner and a few episodes, tired after work, Song Yu began to fall asleep. Inconspicuously, she leaned on Wei Lei's shoulder, who sighed at first but did not wake her up, continuing to watch the series. The woman carefully picked Song Yu up in her arms and carried her to the bed, wondering why the girl was so happy. Spoilers for the series. In her sleep, Song Yu mumbled something about food and asked for extras, as if continuing the meal. Waking up in the morning, the girl was surprised to find herself in the bedroom, although she remembered falling asleep in the living room. She wondered if Wei Lei had carried her here and put her to bed, although it seemed unlikely. Going downstairs and yawning, Song Yu noticed the bun she had dreamed about on the table. Wei Lei, sitting on the couch with a book, said she saw an advertisement on TV and decided to try it. "Next time, don't wait for that," she added. Sitting on the sofa next to Wei Lei and enjoying a bun, the girl noticed that Wei Lei had stolen her book again. She decided not to argue because Wei Lei bought her a bun. The mistress thought how senseless it was that she had become a thief. Song Yu, having had a delicious breakfast, went to work and thanked the hostess for the bun. Sitting on the sofa, Wei Lei watched her leave and thought about how she became a thief for this girl. The girl, preparing to go to work, dropped a coin. She decided to lift it and put all her coins in the piggy bank, so she had to go upstairs. But Song Yu could not count one coin and became very worried, not understanding where it could be lost. While the girl looked for the coin all over the house, Wei Lei tried to sleep in her coffin. The girl's anxiety bothered her, and when she got up, she saw Song Yu and asked what she was doing. The girl informed the hostess that she had lost the coin and could not find it, asking for help. Wei Lei was surprised, not understanding how the girl could lose her. She begged Wei Lei to help find the coin, not wanting to be alone. Wei Lei was surprised to think that the gold she had given would bother Song Yu so much. The vampire decided to help the girl, took a new coin and, hiding it in the crevice of the sofa, left it there. Concealing her ruse, she hoped it would make Song Yu's search easier. Wei Lei decided to hint to the girl to check the sofa or the pillow. Song Yu, displeased, stated that she had already searched these places and found nothing. Realizing that she should listen to the lady, Song Yu reached under the pillow again, and to her great satisfaction, she found a lost coin. Song Yu, pleased with the coin she found, suddenly hugged Wei Lei. The vampire was surprised and dryly asked who allowed her such liberties. However, a faint smile flashed in her eyes, hidden behind a stern tone. When Wei Lei lay in her grave, Song Yu wished her a good night on her way to work. The vampire frowned and sarcastically replied that it was stupid because it was day, not night. The girl had a long and hard day at work, and she did not even notice how time flew by. A colleague approached and informed that tomorrow there will be a meeting in the marketing department to write off the accounts, adding that she may be free today. Tired, Song Yu sat down on the bike, grumbling about the uncomfortable seat. While she was slowly driving away, the thief standing next to her quietly took her purse out of her bag without being noticed. Wei Lei was sitting on the sofa with a bottle of wine, thinking about how much she wanted to eat. Suddenly, the door creaked, and a sad Song Yu entered the house. Her appearance instantly caught the vampire's attention. The woman noticed that Song Yu came back late and looked sad. She asked what happened, adding that she was interested as a host. Song Yu replied that everything was fine and thanked her for her concern. The girl went up to the bedroom, hugged the pillow, and cried, thinking about the theft and her stupidity. Her tears were filled with frustration and self-blame. The hostess went to the bedroom and, listening, realized that Song Yu's wallet containing the only photos of her parents had been stolen. These pictures were priceless for her. Wei Lei decided to use her power and found the thief. He was fascinated by the woman's beauty. Wei Lei asked if he was the cause of her silly little maid's tears. After knocking out the thief and taking the wallet, Wei Lei opened it to check the contents. When she saw the photo of Song Yu's parents, she was surprised that such a simple thing could cause such deep emotions. The woman knew she had to run before the thief noticed her. However, despite his filthy appearance, she considered the possibility of drinking some of his blood. But Wei Lei remembered that you can't bite anyone. Grabbing the thief by the shirt, Wei Lei wished him a good night and ordered him to forget about the incident. She told him to pretend he had just tripped and fallen. On her way out, Wei Lei noticed two robed men approaching the beaten thief. They told him to report it to the church immediately. Wei Lei wondered how even after 200 years they still existed. In the morning, Wei Lei noticed that Song Yu looked upset about losing her wallet. She was surprised that the girl left without even having breakfast, clearly not having an appetite. The woman knew that she is a good person who seeks to compensate for evil with charity. She took the wallet and threw it at Song Yu's feet, but she was immersed in her thoughts, did not notice, and continued on her way to work. Wei Lei decided to follow Song Yu, hoping that the girl would notice the lost wallet and appreciate her help. She kept her distance, following her with the hope of success. The woman, using her strength, snapped her fingers, causing the purse to fly to Song Yu's feet, but she didn't notice it. Suddenly, the girl remembered the meeting and, forgetting the documents at home, hurried to return. When Song Yu ran up to the house, she saw a lady at the door holding her purse. Joyfully noticing it, the girl hurried to come and pick it up. Joyfully running up to Wei Lei, Song Yu gave her a big hug, thanking her for returning the wallet. Song Yu, after thanking her lady, confessed that she adores her and that the photos in her wallet are very important to her. Wei Lei, with a modest smile, replied that these were just small things. The girl thanked Wei Lei again, and she explained that she couldn't sleep because of her crying. Wei Lei went out for a walk, accidentally met a thief, and decided to help. The lady said that it is not necessary to thank. Remembering the work papers, Song Yu returned home to collect them and hurried back to work. In parting, she thanked Wei Lei, who felt a strange excitement in her chest, as if her heart was racing again. Will Song Yu be able to lift the curse? At work, Song Yu checked her wallet and found that the photo was there. She understood that she should thank the hostess for her help, although she did not know exactly what to give as a sign of gratitude. After starting to look for a gift on the internet, Song Yu thought that any present would suit her. She was sure that Wei Lei, with her beautiful appearance and body, could wear anything she wanted. Meanwhile, two colleagues were discussing needlework at work. One of them showed her friend a flower that looked just like the real thing, striking with its realism. Song Yu decided that this flower would make the perfect gift. She looked like a real white rose. Approaching her colleague, she asked her to teach her how to create equally beautiful roses. The girl made a white rose and bought a box with a ribbon for packing. On the way home, she wondered whether her mistress would like such a gift and whether it would be a worthy expression of her gratitude. When Song Yu entered the house, she saw Xiao Wei angrily talking to the smart speaker. The woman complained that the device does not follow her commands, despite the fact that she is a housewife. The girl was surprised how a vampire from the Western world could not figure out the column. She asked what exactly Wei Lei told her to do. The woman replied that she instructed to find out about the heirs of the Goya family, but the column only repeats the same thing. Song Yu greeted the speaker and ordered her to sing a song. The column started playing music. Wei Lei was surprised to learn about the maid's personal servant. Enraged, she declared that the column deserved punishment. The woman used her power to make the column fly through the air and informed Song Yu that this was the fate that would befall anyone who disobeyed their master. It was a lesson for the girl to keep her little servants under control. Song Yu laughed, saying that the column could not be a servant. Wei Lei grabbed her hand and warned her that it was not a joke. She added that Song Yu could have reported everything earlier. The girl gave a gift to Wei Lei, thanking her for her help in searching for her wallet and her dear photos. She asked her mistress not to be angry, sincerely hoping that her gratitude would soften Wei Lei. The woman opened the gift and saw a flower. Surprised, she thought that such things have not been given for a long time. Song Yu explained that she made the flower out of papyrus paper, and it is not real. Wei Lei was delighted with the gift, but did not show it. Song Yu thought about replacing it with something better in the future. However, Wei Lei had already taken the flower and started looking for a place for it in her coffin. The hostess looked at the rose with pleasure, rejoicing that she was given such a special flower, moreover made by herself. She understood that a person, creating such a gift, puts his mood and feelings into it. Wei Lei made it clear that she did not want to receive anything pretentious from Song Yu, considering herself a mistress and not wanting to allow insults to her maid. Song Yu was not upset and even felt happy. Song Yu's phone rang suddenly. After asking Wei Lei not to look for her, she ran into the room. A tarologist friend said that she would come in a couple of days, although she was supposed to finish her internship in 3 months. Song Yu asked her tarot reader friend about the reason for her hasty arrival. Ta explained that Song Yu had a red thread symbolizing death, which caused her concern and the need to come urgently. Song Yu was in despair. She didn't want her friend to know about Wei Lei because she was too powerful. The girl decided that it was better to hide the vampire to avoid problems. The girl went down to the hostess and begged her to hide for a while. But Wei Lei, proud of Varel Odalisque, the first Duke of Vampires, did not want to hide from humans and was categorically against it. Song Yu considered several options and offered to teach the woman how to use the smart speaker. Soon, she returned with the speaker and showed what the buttons on it were for, hoping to make her task easier. The girl informed her mistress that she had to pay for the education, but immediately regretted it, realizing that it was accidental. The situation became too awkward, and Song Yu felt embarrassed. Wei Lei handed Song Yu a coin. The girl asked how the hostess could always have money and how much she had. Wei Lei replied that she had enough coins to last a lifetime. Song Yu got angry with the hostess and left. Wei Lei felt embarrassed, realizing that if the girl knew the secret of the gold coins, she would feel guilty for the curse. The next day, Song Yu thought about Wei Lei's plan to use the column to find information about the Goi family. She suddenly remembered that a coworker started treating her like a pet after asking for coffee. The girl didn't have time to go to the library to look for new evidence, but she thought she might be able to take time off work to check the information. While Song Yu was thinking about how to excuse herself from work, a colleague unexpectedly approached her and asked where the data she asked to be included in the report was. The girl informed Xiao Ming that she found an error in the report. A coworker asked if Song Yu had checked the material and indignantly stated that it looks like she will have to do everything for her. Sensing the girl's emotions and realizing that someone was abusing her servant, Wei Lei suddenly jumped out of bed. She realized that in order to get a good night's sleep, she needed to solve this problem herself. Wei Lei disguised herself and wore unusual clothes to go to Song Yu's job. The sunlight was draining her strength as she hadn't eaten recently, and it was hard for her. Seeing the courier enter the building, Wei Lei used her powers to hypnotize him. Penetrating inside through his body, she smelled Song Yu and began looking for her. While Wei Lei was looking for Song Yu, her colleague sternly ordered her to order coffee for the afternoon meeting. The girl thought that it was too early because the coffee would be cold by lunchtime. The girl picked up the phone and ordered coffee. The colleague, hearing this, angrily stated that she had already asked Zhang to place the order and ordered it to be canceled immediately. In the evening, after finishing things, Song Yu went home, thinking about finding a new job. The idea of quitting appeared, but she decided not to give up just because someone else wanted it. When Song Yu came home, she couldn't find her hostess and worried that she might have gone to bite people. But then Wei Lei came in and angrily asked why Song Yu was whining in the hallway and what happened to her. The lady asked if Song Yu was worried about her. The girl replied that of course she was worried because there are many cameras in the city. If she is caught, the police will quickly find and arrest her because she doesn't even have a passport. For Song Yu, the most terrifying thing was not only falling into the hands of the police, but also being exposed as a vampire. She was afraid that she would be used in experiments. Seeing her anxiety, Wei Lei found the girl cute and easy to manipulate. Song Yu's heart was beating wildly with excitement, and Wei Lei sensed it and noticed her anxiety. The alarming heartbeat was clearly audible in the silence of the room. Going up to her room, Song Yu started looking for her old phone. Rejoicing when she found it, she charged the device and decided to take it to Wei Lei. Wei Lei looked at the phone in surprise, not understanding why she needed it. Song Yu explained that it was necessary so that she could find her easily. The girl decided to teach the lady how to use the phone and advised her to ask for help if something was unclear. Wei Lei, studying the device, was pleasantly surprised by how many possibilities this small object hides. Song Yu wished the hostess good night and went to bed, but she was woken up by Wei Lei, who reported that the phone was malfunctioning. Annoyed, Song Yu asked if she was only woken up because of that. Wei Lei apologized. The girl took the phone and saw that it was discharged. She informed Wei Lei that the problem could be solved by charging the device. Song Yu put her phone to charge and saw that Wei Lei was reading a novel. The mistress explained that the story appeared when she fell asleep, but she did not manage to read it to the end when she woke up. The girl went to bed and asked the hostess not to disturb her and not to enter the room without permission. Song Yu wanted some peace and quiet after a long day, as she needed to wake up early the next morning. It was morning, and Song Yu was already at work, struggling with fatigue. It was all Wei Lei's fault, which did not allow her to sleep properly, which is why she slept only half a night. An aggressive colleague approached Song Yu and, apologizing, admitted that she was wrong to bully her. Song Yu was very surprised by such an unexpected turn of events. Song Yu replied that since the colleague apologized, the offense was gone, but asked her not to behave like this again in the future. The colleague suddenly changed her expression and ominously warned Song Yu not to divulge what had happened. Song Yu was shocked that Xiaoming first apologized and then ominously warned her to keep quiet. A few minutes later, the colleague came over again and asked why Song Yu hadn't written down the time and place of the email she asked to be sent. The girl replied that the colleague herself said that it was not necessary to do this. Xiaoming was stunned and did not understand what was happening. After apologizing again, she admitted that she was a bad person and asked Song Yu for forgiveness. Song Yu wondered if Wei Lei might have used her powers to influence her colleague's behavior. She began to suspect that the events with Xiaoming might be the result of the hostess's actions. When Song Yu returned home, she saw the hostess sitting on the sofa and looking at the new phone. Wei Lei, noticing her, asked why Song Yu came home from work so early. The hostess continued to look at the phone, and Song Yu asked if Wei Lei had stopped using it since last night. Wei Lei smiled and replied that people always talk about new things. Song Yu leaned over to Wei Lei and asked what she had done with her colleague. Wei Lei, engrossed in the game on the phone, only asked to wait because she was close to a new record. The game ended, and Wei Lei said that she couldn't sleep for half a day because a colleague kept annoying Song Yu. When the girl asked how she knew, Wei Lei said that it was because she was her servant. Wei Lei explained that all the emotions that Song Yu feels are transferred to her because she is her owner. Song Yu couldn't stop thinking about Wei Lei's words. Did she really feel all of her emotions from the beginning? She was glad that someone was taking care of her again, because many years had passed since then. The girl tried not to think about it, so as not to convey her emotions to Wei Lei. She started to exercise, but her pulse quickened. Wei Lei could not understand what she was doing. she could feel her condition. Song Yu checked her heart rate on the watch. It had risen to 120. The unpleasant feeling persisted, and she hoped that a shower would help. With this intention, she went to the bathroom. Weilei couldn't even enter Song Yu's room because she told her not to. The woman stood outside the door, thinking she was the worst of the vampires, unable to intervene. Opening the door, Weilei saw Song Yu standing in a towel. She asked why she was not in bed. Frightened and confused, the girl abruptly threw a towel at Wei and shouted that the Inca should not look. Weilei thought that no one would want to look at a body that looked like a chicken. However, in the end, she felt calm. Song Yu lay in bed, thinking about the towel incident and hoping that Wei hadn't seen anything out of the ordinary. Fortunately, the strange throbbing and anxiety disappeared. In the morning, while pouring herself a cup of rice, Song Yu thought about going to the library. It was open only on Fridays and Mondays, which seemed quite strange to her. After sitting down at the table and turning on the video, Song Yu enjoyed her meal. She was pleased to realize that she rested all day, was able to save on food, and considered herself the best money saver in the world. Weilei approached Song Yu. At that moment, the girl couldn't help but think about last night, and the memories began to bother her again. As she continued to watch the curry-making video, Song Yu felt a strong urge to eat it immediately. Weilei, watching her, thought that nothing was impossible for her. Weilei watched the video and found out who was cooking the dish. She decided to visit the female cook. The Empress, using her power, ordered the cook to prepare a dish by showing a photo of the curry on her phone. After eating rice without meat, Song Yu still felt hungry. She continued to watch curry videos and dream about him. Song Yu smelled the fragrant curry and thought she was hallucinating. It turned out that Weilei had brought curry for Song Yu. She told her to eat it, and the girl was overjoyed because it was what she wanted so much. While enjoying the meal, Song Yu suggested that Weilei try the curry, but Weilei reminded her that she does not eat human food. Song Yu asked Weilei if she wanted to drink blood. Weilei replied that if Song Yu would let her take a bite, she would accept. Weilei abruptly turned away from Song Yu, and Song Yu, surprised, asked what had happened. The vampire answered that she did not want to bite her anymore. Vampire got up and went to bed. In fact, she didn't like the taste of the curry and told Song Yu about it. The girl asked why Wei brought it then. Wei replied that it was because Song Yu really wanted it and ordered to finish it all. Song Yu started asking Weilei where and how she got the curry and what kind of money was used. Weilei replied that Song Yu was asking too many questions and should stay out of the housekeeper's business. Let him eat his food, but she wants to sleep. Girl wanted to explain to Weilei that she was not familiar with the modern world and offered to help with the exchange of money if needed. She also thanked for the food. Song Yu mentioned that her best friend is due back from vacation but didn't reveal the exact date. The girl decided to call her herself to find out when she would return. After calling, Song Yu learned that Xiao Ji had canceled the challenge. A friend reported problems and warned her to return home after work. She sent the parcel and asked to wear it immediately after opening. After picking up the package the next day, Song Yu opened it and discovered an amulet and a note. The note said that the amulet should not be removed under any circumstances, even before going to bed. Song Yu returned home, and Weilei noticed that her mood had improved. The girl's voice sounded much more cheerful than before. When the amulet touched Weilei's skin, it began to work, and she felt herself losing consciousness. The girl noticed her condition and got scared. The girl understood that this was the action of the amulet and quickly took it off. She ran up to the vampire, and Weilei asked in a weak voice to be placed in the coffin. Song Yu hugged Weilei and helped her lie down in the coffin. She apologized to her and offered to take her to the hospital to help with the situation. Weilei replied that the human hospital wouldn't help and she just needed to rest. She asked Song Yu to leave her alone to recover. Morning came, and Song Yu quickly ran over to check on Xiao Wei, but she was still asleep. The girl left a note, writing that it was time for her to go to work, and asked the lady to call her when she woke up. Song Yu sat at work debating whether to ask Xiao Ji about the amulet. She was afraid that Weilei would find out about her friend, and it would lead to trouble. Deciding to leave the amulet at work for the time being so that it would not harm Xiao Wei again. The next day came, and Song Yu was going to work again, and Weilei was still sleeping. The girl left a message again, asking the lady to call as soon as she woke up. With anxiety in her heart, she went to work. In the evening, Song-yu sat by Wei Lei's bed, tiredness took over, and she quietly fell asleep next to the lady, waiting for her to wake up. Waking up a few hours later, Wei Lei found Song-yu sleeping peacefully by her bed. The vampire thought, did the girl really sit here all this time? Warmth from this thought filled her heart. Wei Lei gently touched Song-yu's cheek and Song-yu opened her eyes. With tears in her eyes, the girl said that the vampire had slept for 2 whole days, and she was very worried about her. Her joy overflowed her heart. The vampire asked suspiciously if Song-yu was trying to get rid of her by accusing her of sleeping for so long. The girl alarmedly replied that she did not know that this would happen, and did not wish her harm at all. Wei Lei was still not feeling well. Song-yu offered her medicine, hoping it would help. However, the lady asked the girl to stay away. The only thing the girl could say was to apologize once more, sincerely expressing her regret and concern for Wei Lei's condition. After a while, Song-yu sat and cleaned the lady's coffin. Noticing this, Xiao Wei used her strength to take the cloth from her. The girl explained that she just wanted to do something for her. Xiao Wei almost passed out again, and Song-yu ran over to her. The girl asked the lady to bite her, believing that if the vampire drank the blood, she would feel better. The lady asked why Song-yu is doing this. The girl replied that she just really wanted Xiao Wei to feel better. The vamp asked permission to bite again and reassured Song-yu that it wouldn't hurt, but it would feel like a sting. Song-yu told the lady to do it faster if she wanted to drink the blood instead of licking it. Wei Lei did not understand why her girlfriend was begging her to do this. Wei Lei asked Song-yu if she thought she liked her and reminded her of her status as a servant, warning her not to fall in love with her. The vampire added that if it weren't for the amulet, she wouldn't have remembered the girl. Wei Lei pushed Song-yu away and she ran to her bedroom. The vampire woman understood that she and the girl were completely different and believed that the sooner Song-yu realized this, the better. She also knew she needed to find a way to break the curse. Song-yu sat in her room and cried, feeling a deep hatred for Xiao Wei. She was tormented by not understanding why the vampire behaved like that, although the girl sincerely worried about her mistress and even allowed her to bite her. The girl remembered all the moments with Xiao Wei and thought that maybe her recent concern for the lady had given the wrong impression. These feelings became the cause of her bad health. Song-yu decided that she had to go to the library tomorrow. She was sure that as soon as Xiao Wei disappeared from her life, the strange feeling would go away. In the morning, taking a piece of paper with the address with her, Song-yu went to the library. When she arrived, she was surprised to find that no one was there at the height of the working day. Opening the library door, Song-yu asked if anyone was there. Not noticing the grandmother standing behind her, she got scared. The old woman replied that the library was open and offered to go in and look for the book she needed. Looking around the library, Song-yu noticed that it was very small and quiet, as if no one was there. Song-yu noticed some books on the table and decided to start her search with them. She carefully went through them, hoping to find the information she needed among these old volumes. Behind the bookshelf, the old woman and the man, hiding, watched the girl. Discussing her smell, which was reminiscent of a vampire hunter, the man decided to take care of Song-yu. The man approached the girl from behind and raised his hand to use magic. Song-yu felt a strange sensation. Soon she found a biography of Goya's family in the book. Taking the book, Song-yu was about to leave when a man standing behind her approached her. He introduced himself as the director of the library and asked if she needed help. Song-yu thanked her and replied that she had already found what she needed. After leaving the library, Song-yu looked at the building and thought that this place was very strange. The main thing was that she found information about Goya's family, although the feeling of anxiety did not leave her. The library director and the old lady watched as Song-yu walked. The old lady asked him why he didn't kill her. He replied that it seemed the woman had given her some kind of protection and he could not even touch her. The old woman asked the director if it was about a vampire. He confirmed and added that the vampire's power had injured him. The old woman could not understand why she was protecting the bastard vampire hunters, because it didn't make much sense. They concluded that this girl was special and decided they had a way to track her down. Song-yu held the book and realized that the sooner she dealt with things, the sooner her life would return to normal. The girl was heading back when she discovered that the road was closed for repairs. Deciding to take a different path, she felt fear. Suddenly, 2 black dogs ran out of nowhere. One of them started barking and threatening to attack Song-yu. Sitting at home, the vampire felt that Song-yu was in danger. She quickly flew to the girl, grabbed her, and lifted her into the air. The vampire then chased away the evil dogs, saving Song-yu. Descending to the ground with Song-yu, Wei-lei hugged her even tighter, as if afraid of losing her. Song-yu glared at Wei-lei and told her not to worry. Although the lady saved her again, Sun is not going to fall in love with her. Wei-lei was just wondering if the girl would let her walk her home. Song-yu stated that she can take care of herself. She added that they are just working together and should keep their distance. Wei-lei tensed a little when she smelled the church. Looking around, she quickly took Song-yu into her arms and warned her to hold her breath as she would need it. Wei-lei took off with Song-yu in her arms, noticing that it would be faster that way. Song-yu shouted in a panic that it was dangerous and that she always buckled up in flight. While they were flying, a man in a robe managed to take a picture of them on his phone, but Song-yu and Wei-lei didn't notice. After landing, Song-yu expressed her displeasure, noting that this was already too much. Wei-lei stopped the girl and began sniffing her. She smelled another vampire and became alert. The girl was scared, thinking that Xiao Wei was going to bite her. She exclaimed that Wei-lei had gone mad. The vampire calmed her down, explaining that the girl had misunderstood her. Song-yu did not understand what Xiao Wei was doing. Yesterday she mocked her, and today she makes the first move. The girl told the lady that there could be nothing between them. The vampire said that Song-yu was too noisy and promised not to fool around again. She ordered the girl to go to sleep. Song-yu gave the book to Wei-lei, saying that it was her payment for her help and that it was purely a market relationship between them. She noticed the shine of a coin in the hostess's pocket and, after going up to her room, Song-yu sat on the bed and hugged the pillow. She couldn't understand what was going on between her and Wei-lei and decided to change the relationship to change the situation. Wei-lei was sitting in the room studying a book. She couldn't believe that Goya's family had settled here, and now it was clear why Song-yu had their scent on her. The vampire was tired, having spent a lot of energy, and felt bad. Song-yu was going downstairs and saw that Wei-lei was not well. She quickly ran up to her and offered to bite her again, saying that it was thanks for the help the lady had given her. Wei-lei refused, citing lack of sleep, and asked to be left alone so she could rest. The vampire got up and headed to her bed. Song-yu followed her without thinking, feeling worried for the lady. Song-yu sat down next to her and started asking how Wei-lei became a vampire. The lady thought for a moment before answering, lost in memories of her past. Wei-lei remembered how she had been bullied when she was a child, and how she was the only survivor among nearly 500 people. Those painful memories came back to life, squeezing her heart with pain. Rudely replying that it was none of her business, the lady turned away from Song-yu, showing a clear desire to end the conversation. In the morning, being late, Song-yu ran to the office building. Seeing a beautiful girl at the entrance, she politely asked to hold the door. Going up to the office, Song-yu saw the introduction of the new head of the department, Miss Lin Jun. Song-yu remembered that the girl she met and asked to hold the door was her new boss. She hoped she hadn't made a bad impression on Miss Lin. A few hours later, Miss Lin approached Song-yu with the documents and asked if she had made the report. Song-yu confirmed that it was her. Miss Lin praised Song-yu for a job well done and wondered why Annie did the report in the morning and not her. Song-yu explained that Annie was in charge of the project and she was just helping out. Miss Lin turned to Annie and told her not to let this happen again. The manager told all the employees of the department not to stress and promised that she would treat them to a delicious meal tonight. The evening came, and everyone was already sitting in the restaurant. Miss Lin told the employees not to be shy and to order whatever they wanted. The manager noticed that the beer made Song-yu a little drunk and politely asked her to be more careful with the drinks. Song-yu noted that Miss Lin is not only friendly, but also very caring. One of the employees said that this place is famous for duck blood and that Song-yu should try it. Song-yu asked the waitress to pack some blood with her to try later. After saying goodbye to everyone and thanking them for a pleasant evening, Song-yu took the wrapped duck blood with her and headed home, hoping that Wei-lei wouldn't be too hungry. When she got home, Song-yu shouted to Wei-lei that she had something for her. showing a packet of duck blood. Song Yu said that it was a delicacy, duck blood that would help the lady recover, and added that it was very tasty. After trying a piece, the lady said that her tongue would burn now. Song Yu quickly gave her water and apologized, explaining that she was used to spicy food and forgot about the lady's intolerance to hot peppers. Wei Lei thought that duck blood could be a substitute for real blood. She was surprised that Song Yu was so generous to offer such a rarity. Song Yu explained that their new boss had treated them at work today, and she herself would not have been able to afford such a treat. She ordered the duck blood especially for Xiao Wei. Song Yu began to tell Xiao Wei about Miss Lin and how she had helped her twice today. In response, the vampire noted that the new boss may not be as simple as she seems. The vampire said that Song Yu is stupid if she can't tell a bad person from a good person. The girl replied that she can tell the difference between being cared for and being bullied. Wei Lei asked the girl if she understood correctly that she was the one making fun of her. Song Yu replied that yes, and that Wei is the bad person in this story. Song Yu declared that she did not want to talk to Wei Lei anymore and was going to go home. Standing up, she tripped and fell right on top of the lady, their lips accidentally touching. They both felt uncomfortable realizing that this was their first kiss. Neither Song Yu nor Wei Lei had ever kissed before in their lives, which made the moment even more unexpected and awkward. At that moment, Song Yu's phone rang. It was Miss Lin asking to meet at a restaurant in the morning. Wei Lei thought that the leader was probably from the church. Wei Lei abruptly snatched the phone out of Song Yu's hands and demanded that she not go to the meeting with Miss Lin. Song Yu grabbed the phone back and angrily asked how dare Wei Lei order her around. Wei Lei replied that the manager might turn out to be a bad person. The girl angrily told Wei Lei that she had her own head on her shoulders and that Wei Lei could not decide for her who she should talk to or what to think of others. Guilt and anxiety filled Wei Lei's heart. Even if she was wrong, she still didn't want anyone else to take advantage of Song Yu's kindness. Wei Lei didn't want Song Yu to smile at anyone like that, and suddenly realized that she had become the owner, jealous of the girl over others. The next morning, Song Yu still went to meet Miss Lin at the restaurant, a little late. When she came and saw the manager, the girl apologized, but she assured that she had just come alone. Miss Lin had a cute dog sitting next to her, and she explained that it was because of him that she invited Song Yu to meet her. Miss Lin explained that the dog's name was Kizai and that its owners had gone away, leaving Lin to care for him for a few days. However, Lin was allergic to dogs. Song Yu asked if Miss Lin wanted her to take Kizai. Lin replied that she did because she had no friends, and Song Yu seemed sympathetic to her. Song Yu agreed, saying that she likes dogs. Miss Lin thanked Song Yu for her help, and the girl went home with the dog. Meanwhile, behind the wall of the restaurant stood a man in a robe and watched them carefully. The girl brought the dog home and informed her that it would be his home for a few days. Wei Lei noticed them, and Song Yu was surprised that the lady was awake at such a time. Song Yu walked past Wei Lei, ignoring her. The lady reflected on the fact that the girl came back so quickly and hoped that the churchman did not have time to do anything to Song Yu. While Song Yu poured water for the dog, Wei Lei used her strength and lifted the dog into the air. Song Yu, scared for the dog, rushed to him, worried for his safety. In a panic, she screamed at Wei Lei, demanding that her actions be stopped immediately. The girl, taking the dog in her arms, scolded Wei Lei, asking how she could do such a thing. Her voice was full of displeasure and concern. While stroking the dog, Song Yu noticed a scratch and blood on Wei Lei's hand. She asked if everything was okay with you. Wei Lei spread her wings and flew away, leaving Song Yu completely confused and worried about her condition. Meanwhile, at the restaurant, after Song Yu left, Miss Lin noticed a robed person watching them. She approached him and ordered her men to take him to the church. It turns out that Miss Lin is not who she says she is. In fact, she was a hunter. Entering the church, Lin approached a woman sitting in a luxurious chair. This woman was Miss Pei, the head of the Pei group. The woman named Miss Lin Jun and praised her for her successful hunt, noting that she was the most capable child. June got down on one knee, bowed, and declared that she was serving the church. The woman asked June not to bend the knee and added that she deserved more. June asked if any information on her mother's whereabouts had been found. Pei replied that there is a time for everything. Miss Pei said that the harder Jun looked for hiding vampires and worked for her, the sooner she would learn what she was interested in. Pei added that she hoped it was just her imagination and that the girl June met seemed familiar to her. A day has passed. Song Yu walked and wondered if Wei Lei was really angry with her. Here, Wei Lei, who was standing behind, asked the girl if she did not like her. Song Yu noticed Xiao Wei quickly ran to her. The vampire told Song Yu to be careful. The girl replied that she was not disgusted by Wei Lei at all, and that she was just worried about the dog that her manager had asked her to look after. The girl explained to Wei Lei that she was afraid that the lady would eat the dog. Wei Lei replied that she would then have to cough up wool for 3 centuries. The girl apologized to the lady, saying that she was wrong. Remembering the wound on Wei Lei's arm, Song Yu decided to examine it, worried that vampires might have blood contamination. The lady replied that it was not a problem for a vampire of her level and asked not to touch. The vampire decided to heal the wound on Song Yu's knee. She bent down and touched the knee, and the wound disappeared. Song Yu, seeing that there was no trace left, thanked the lady. Song Yu expressed her surprise to learn that Wei Lei was a top-level vampire and asked who turned Wei Lei into a statue. The lady replied that it was an accident that caused her to fall into a deep sleep. She added that it is a long story. Song Yu suggested to Wei Lei that since the story was long, they needed to brace themselves. She suggested going to the supermarket, noticing that they never went out together. While walking through the supermarket, Song Yu said she likes the store because of the many goodies on sale. Wei Lei noticed that there were many people and a wide variety. Wei Lei was thirsty, but she couldn't drink the blood because of Song Yu's order. The girl, in a hurry to buy durian on sale, which she hadn't eaten in a long time, called Wei Lei to the shelves where there was a discount product. Running over to the shelf, Song Yu saw the last durian package and reached out to take it. But right in front of Song Yu's hand, the boy reached out his hand, grabbed the box, and said to be quick. The girl was upset when she saw the boy's mean act and returned to the basket. Wei Lei used her strength to take the box from the boy. Song Yu noticed that the boy was talking about pain while looking at his hand, and asked Wei Lei if she did it. Wei Lei walked proudly and replied that the girl should look at her feet and not at the boy. They continued their walk through the store. Song Yu noticed the fresh produce section and offered to get some duck blood for the broth. Excited, she collected too much and decided to remove the goodies. Wei Lei asked Song Yu if it was expensive. The girl wondered how she knew, to which Wei replied that Song Yu wrote down the price. The girl said that she could not afford to buy many goodies. Wei Lei said that she would buy whatever Song Yu wanted and pay for all her purchases. Hearing this, Song Yu happily ran to pick out the groceries. After leaving the supermarket, Song Yu happily ran home, her joy evident. Wei Lei watched her and noticed her satisfaction. After cooking dinner, Song Yu called Wei Lei to the table and praised the dish, saying that it was delicious and only took 5 minutes to prepare. Wei Lei was shocked. Sitting down at the table, Wei Lei wondered why it was necessary to use such complicated cutlery. Song Yu walked over to her and patiently showed her how to hold the chopsticks correctly. While enjoying dinner, Song Yu reminded Wei Lei that she never told how she became a statue. Wei Lei smiled and replied that the story was boring, but when Song Yu was interested, she was willing to tell it. After eating some duck blood, Wei Lei began to tell her story, starting with the fact that there are not only vampires in the world, but also those who hunt them. Wei Lei revealed that there is a holy order organization that claims to eradicate evil, but in reality they are only interested in fame and money, not justice. The lady continued that the holy order hunts vampires, werewolves, and all non-humans. They shackle them, treat them cruelly, and then sell them to the rich. Song Yu listened intently and asked if Wei Lei had been hunted or if she had met anyone from the order. The lady replied that they weren't hunting, but she was meeting them, and since Song Yu had her scent on her, the order had already noticed. The girl excitedly asked if the order knew where they were. The lady replied that they haven't been found yet, but the order will do anything to get her and doesn't want Song Yu to be in danger because of her. Song Yu said that if Wei Lei had told earlier, there would have been no misunderstanding. Wei Lei suggested that she stay away, but the woman replied that she could not leave her alone. Wei Lei said that she had to go, that would be the right thing to do. But Song Yu, upset, replied that they were friends. Song Yu jumped up sharply, upset, and remembering that she had not folded her gold coins, ran into her room and closed the door. The girl realized that she had fallen in love with Xiao Wei, and now she did not know what to do. Song Yu breaking his piggy bank. She did not find her gold there and was a little angry. The girl went downstairs and called Wei Lei, asking about the missing gold coins. The lady admitted that when she turned into a statue, she only had 1 coin. Song Yu asked Wei Lei if she would have continued to cheat her by tossing the same coin every time if Song Yu had not broken her piggy bank. Realizing that she had been tricked, Song Yu burst into tears and sobbed, shouting that Wei Lei was the biggest and most obnoxious liar, then ran back to her room. Wei Lei walked to the door of Song Yu's room and said that no matter what the reason, she shouldn't deceive the girl. After apologizing sincerely, she hoped that Song Yu would forgive her. Before going into hibernation, Wei Lei placed the gold and jewels in the casket. A lot could have changed in 200 years, and she needed time to figure it out. She will be back as soon as she can. Song Yu, crying, told Wei Lei through the door that it wasn't just the gold that upset her, but the lies. She was upset that Wei Lei had deceived her, and it hurt her. Remembering that the order might be looking for a lady, Song Yu quickly opened the door, hoping to stop Wei Lei, but she was already gone. The next day, Song Yu was at work, but she couldn't concentrate. All her thoughts were on Wei Lei because the lady didn't come home last night. The manager approached Song Yu and said that she did not expect to meet her in the elevator. Song Yu suggested that maybe she wanted to know about Kizai, but Miss replied that she wanted to talk about something else. Miss Lin said that Song Yu had done her a great favor and wanted to thank her with dinner. The manager offered to walk Song Yu home despite the fact that they don't know each other much, but the girl politely declined. At this time, Wei Lei appeared behind Song Yu and said that she was quite enough and there was no need for Mrs. help. Miss Lin looked at Wei Lei in surprise and asked who she was. Song Yu said that her friend was looking for her and they should go home. She said goodbye to Miss Lin and hurried to leave. On the way home, Song Yu admitted that Xiao Wei scared her a lot. The lady asked if Song Yu was afraid that she would hurt Miss Lin. The girl said that the lady's behavior could have caused a scandal. Wei Lei asked if Miss Lin was more important to her. Song Yu replied that she was still angry with the lady and did not understand her arrogance. Wei Lei took the girl to the bank, explaining that the exchange would take time. The lady handed the card to the girl and explained that she had exchanged all the money for yuan, as she did not have coins at home. Its state is stored on the card. The girl took the card and, seeing the amount on the account, was shocked. She knew that Wei Lei only had 10 coins for her. The lady informed the girl that this amount was enough to pay the mortgage, and now Song Yu would not have to endure the abuse. The girl took the card. She knew that Wei Lei only had 10 coins for her, but here it turned out to be a whole fortune in the account. Song Yu looked carefully at the amount on the card once more, not believing her eyes. She was shocked and couldn't believe it wasn't a dream. The lady informed the girl that this amount was enough to pay the mortgage, and now Song Yu would not have to endure the abuse.